Oh, Struth, the lengths you've got to go to. Either a spy, an assassin, or something. Yeah, but this really takes a biscuit joining the monastery.
I'm Carl. I'm supposed to enter as a novice.
We expected you sooner. Weren't you supposed to come here with your guardian? It's been so hectic lately, people will keep turning up out of the blue.
He gave me the papers and left me at the gate. You must be used to that, though. I'm not the first novice here, am I?
But that wasn't very considerate of him, was it? It's been so hectic here lately, novices arriving one after the other. The last one didn't even have a letter, and you'd think his backside was on fire, the way he kept looking over his shoulder.
You took him without the letter? You didn't find that suspicious?
My guess is he wanted to hide from someone, but he's a priest and knows how things work in the monastery, so there was nothing to prevent him from being accepted, at least temporarily. You're a different case, though. Are you able to read?
Naturally. I wouldn't be here otherwise.
So then, are you ready to enter the Order of Saint Benedict and renounce forever the temptations of this world?
I am.
Then you must rid yourself of all your worldly possessions. Sell them or give them to the poor and needy or donate them to the monastery. You may not enter this place burdened by worldly goods. Inside the gatehouse is a trunk in which you will find monk's robes. Put away all your possessions and dress yourself in the habit. Then you may rest a while I go and see the prior to arrange matters for your acceptance. Good luck to you.
Oh, Killy Dogley? Right, so. Oh, wow. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, really. I can't exactly go in there wearing what I've got on, can I? Where was the trunk? Somewhere where I've got to put my things. Or is it down here? Maybe. Possibly.
Strange feeling being without all of that. I didn't realise how much I'd grown used to it.
Everything's prepared. It's time for you to take your vows.
Do I really have to wear this?
You'd better get used to it. You'll be wearing it for the rest of your life.
Hang on a minute. Should I not be getting one like you when I go up through the order? Can't be a novice forever, surely. Oh well. Goodbye, sunshine.
Brothers in Christ, we have gathered here today to welcome a new novice into our midst. Dear brother, forget your former life and embrace your new vocation in the community of the monks of St. Benedict. Opus Dei, obedientia, obprobria, the service of God, obedience, and endurance of all discomfort. These are the cornerstones and succor of our order, which on this day shall become your own. Suscipe me, Domine, secundum eloquium tuum, et vivam, et non non confundas me ab expectatione mea.
Suscipe me, Domine, secundum in loquium tuum vivam, et non confundas me ab expectatione me.
Accept your new name, Brother Gregor, and wear it with honor. Welcome, brother.
Welcome, brother. I am Antonius, a novice like you. I've been instructed to guide you around the monastery and tell you what you can expect and what your duties will be.
Thanks for helping me out during the ceremony. I had no idea what I was supposed to do.
You don't know Latin, do you? Don't worry. Work in the scriptorium will teach you fast enough. Why exactly are you here? Was it your choice? Or did someone force you to come?
I'm being punished. If it were up to me, I'd still be spending my days in taverns and my nights with whores.
I don't envy you. Unfortunately, you're here for the rest of your life.
Would you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a novice and I'm here because I'd make a poor merchant. I like books and I want an education. Although I must say, so far the monastic life's been quite unexpected.
Let's go then.
Good. But before we do, here's a letter directly from the prior telling you all your regular duties from tomorrow onwards. Make sure to read it this evening, so you know how things work. Right, we can go now. Follow me closely. I'll explain everything as we go. Remember one word: discipline. It's your job to work and pray. You serve the Lord now, not your own bodily needs. This is the way to the dormitory, where we all sleep. You'll find a free bed there, which is now yours. Do you know the first thing the monastery taught me? To appreciate sleep. We rise before dawn every day. Takes a bit of getting used to.
God be with you. Salve Domine.
This is the garden, a place for silent contemplation and meditation. Centuries ago, this monastery was founded by the most esteemed of brothers, Saint Procopius. His earthly remains can be found in a cave under the monastery, and his spirit wanders the corridors at night, punishing any misbehaving novices. So beware. Here are the frattery and scriptorium, together with the library. These are the places where we work. Ora et labora. Pray and work. As a novice, you must always listen to your superior brethren. And above us monks are the prior and the cicatas, who punish every infraction. You'll know them by the canes they carry. Do what they say.
Are you okay? Seem you're a bit stuck there, dude.
This is the refectory, where we come together to eat. During meals, you must be silent. Only one brother reads aloud from the Rule of Saint Benedict. The Rule is the only law we recognize, with the exception of those from God himself. If you break any of its precepts, it's a swift punishment. But I've already told you about the circuitous.
Okay. All right.
The library. The pride of our monastery, a trove of learning. We don't just read books here, we also copy them. You too will learn how. And that's all. Today you are still free from duty, but tomorrow you begin work like the others. If you need anything, ask any of the brothers. We will be glad to help you. And I recommend you get to know the other novices. You already know me. Then there is Siskin, Yodok, and Lucas.
Thanks for showing me around. There's a lot to learn here.
Don't think I want to be giving away my secrets yet.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's not much to tell. I lived in Vlashim, and after my father died, I found out I wasn't much of a merchant. So I left the shop to my brother and decided to become a monk. It's peaceful here. There's food and lots of time to read.
So you chose to come here?
It may seem strange, but I'm one of the few novices that did. I might be the only one. The truth is, the idea of spending my life in a monastery was more appealing than being cooped up in a greasy old shop.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Who's in charge of things around here?
Truthfully, everyone except us. But officially, Abbot Peter. And soon enough, someone else. As if it mattered. Our life will still be work and prayer.
I see. Are there any rifts between the brothers?
Yes. From the moment talk began about electing a new abbot, it's been like a hornet's nest here. Strange you haven't noticed.
We just getting here?
Tell me something about electing the abbot.
Abbot Peter is old. When he dies, they'll have to select a new abbot from amongst the brethren. The candidates are John and Nevlas. And if you ask me for my opinion, Nevlas is definitely the right man. Unfortunately, no one cares about my opinion because novices get no say.
Tell me something about life here.
Work, prayer, as if you didn't know. We serve God, and that's the central truth of our lives.
What are the roles of the various monks here?
Someone takes care of the library, someone else the garden. The abbot supervises everyone, and in his absence, the prior. But it's the circators you should worry about. They're the brothers who'll make sure we observe the rule. They can be quite strict, so if you want to avoid getting punished, always act righteously and do your duties honestly.
Who would you choose as the new abbot if you could?
Why should I even think about that when I don't have the right to vote? Gregor, don't go poking your nose into other people's business. You'll sleep better at night.
Okay. Seeing as this is a library, actually what time is it? Getting late, so I'll probably have to go to bed soon. Seeing this is a library, maybe we could walk around a bit and learn one or two things. Yeah. Do that. I've got a rough idea of the layout of the place and we're heading in a left direction, but have a bit of a read of the books while we've got a bit of time and learn a few things. And I guess we'll have to get started finding out who this novice is, because out of the ones that are already here, I can see you get a different name when you start, so we don't know who this guy really is, as if anyone's going to really tell the truth. So it's going to be tricky. Ah, now that was handy. I thought I'd have a bit of a poke around. Turns out there's a lockpick here. A few little chests and cupboards I've found that are locked. If I actually want to be able to get out of this place at all, I'll have to be able to break a lock. I mean, that's a very hard one. Is there anything else left lying around? I'll have to have a look. Well, this is a pretty tough schedule that they've given you. First thing we have to do is go to prayer. So Tonius is getting up now. I think I'm just going to have to play along with this. I have to find time in between to do our detective work. I mean, there's places where I've seen, you know, locked chests and so on. We might be able to get useful stuff because I need more lockpicks. And I've stashed one away out of the way just in case I get caught, because apparently there's cicadas that will wander around these places, and if I get caught outside of my schedule, and I'm going to be doing that, I've got to poke around. I've got to find out what I can find. I've got to get things. I think there was somebody was asking for a, was it a piece of Procopius? Somebody was wanting a book. There is a good chance I might end up getting caught, and I don't want to get caught with anything on me. So I found myself a little cupboard. I've just hidden my a lockpick that I've got. But I'm just going to try and blend in, stick to the schedule, see what we can do in the time in between. This could be a lot more tricky than I thought. I mean, I noticed some people were actually coming out of that hole before the actual 6 o'clock time. And the minute I tried, it was a case of, ooh, you're neglecting your duties. I had to quickly dash back in again. So it seems I'm going to have to be very, very careful with where I go and when I go. I'm just going to have to keep to this really strict schedule. And I think that's where I need to be next once I've had my breakfast. Somewhere I can go and get something to eat. No? What about there? Can I sit there? No? About there? What about there? Where do I sit? Do I sit here? I will sit here and have a breakfast here.
Who, because of the holy service they have professed, and the fear of
Brother?
God and the glory of life everlasting.
Stealing is a sin. You
What?
should know that as a Christian, and certainly as a monk. Even if I wanted to forgive you, I couldn't. Thou shalt not steal.
What are you talking about? What did I steal?
Very well, brother. I accept my punishment.
Now, show me what you have on you. I must confiscate anything that is not allowed in the monastery.
I don't have anything on me. I stashed that lockpick away in a cupboard. What? This doesn't make any sense. I suppose when I get back out, I'm going to have to see if that lockpick's still there. But unless they actually caught me in the act. And why leave it till this long? This doesn't make any sense. Truth, so they keep you in for an entire day. I mean, that's an entire day I've wasted. I mean, I'm literally going to have to just get back up. Well, I think what I'll do is I'll check that cupboard just out of curiosity to see if it's still there. So I'm just curious. All I've done is, I mean, I put that away before I got back up again. Because I was about to go off and I thought, actually, I better put that lockpick away in case I get caught. Right, so it's going to be about 4 o'clock, so technically we need to go. So it's saying I need to
While
go.
I was locked up, someone was making quite a racket in the cellar. Blind drunk, I'm sure of it. I wonder what's been going on.
Okay, so we were held here. Fair enough. Somebody's up to no good at night. Okay, so... Struth, we're gonna have to go back to prayer again. Man, this is seriously strict. I didn't even have anything on me. It just doesn't make any sense. Right, well, I think what we'll do is we'll get this out the way. We'll get our breakfast, hopefully this time. But I definitely want to see if I've still got that lockpick somewhere.
Then even though he fulfills the command,
Oh wow, well so far so good. See if I can have a chat with any of these while I'm here.
What troubles you?
he will incur the punishment due to murmurers.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
Satisfaction.
Who's in charge of things around
The
here?
rule of Saint Benedict.
Abbot Peter is the administrator of the monastery,
Therefore,
but you won't see
when
him.
anyone receives the
He's
name
always
of
travelling,
abbot,
and on top of that, he's
not to
old
govern
and
his
infirm.
disciples with a twofold
Perhaps the good
teaching.
Lord will bless him with many more
That is
years
to
of
say,
life.
And
he
what
shall
happens
show
when
them
the
all
old
that is
abbot
good
dies?
and holy
Then we elect
by
a
his
new one.
deeds even more than by his words.
Are there any
Expounding the
candidates to be
Lord's
the new abbot?
commandments in words
Yes,
that
there are.
intelligent among his
Brothers
disciples,
John and Nevlas.
demonstrating
Cursed
divine
elections.
precepts by his
Since the
actions
brothers
to those
began
who
talking
harden
about them,
hearts
there's only
and
been
rude
strife in the
mind.
monastery.
The abbot
On one
should
side are brothers
always
who'd like to see
remember
John
what
as
he
abbot.
is and what he
On
is
the
not,
other, those who support
and should know
Nevlas.
that to whom
And they seem to be
more is
capable
given,
of fighting about it forever.
from him more is required. Let him
Tell me
make
about
no
John.
distinction of persons in the
John is
monastery.
a circator and
Let
the
him
oldest
not
brother
love
here.
one more than
It would be
another,
only natural if
unless
he took
it
the
be
crochet
one
from Peter.
he finds better in
He has
good
experience,
works or in
merit,
obedience.
and composure.
And let him not
He'd lead
shut
the
his
monastery
eyes to
wisely.
the faults of offenders, but
I'd
since
like
he
to know
has the
about Nevlas.
authority, let him cut out those
Nevlas
faults by the
manages the
roots
monastery's
as
property.
soon as they
He
begin
doesn't have
to
the most
appear.
experience, but his drive and heart are pure,
Remembering the
his
faith
faith
of many,
firm,
the
and his
priest
ideas
is
rational.
silent. The well-disposed and
Although
those who
perhaps
could
he's too keen to
understand,
change our
let him
routines
correct
here,
with verbal
which many
admonition
brothers
the
don't
first and
like.
second time. But bold,
Why does it
hard,
matter so much who
proud,
wins?
and disobedient
Because the
character
future direction of the
should
monastery
curb
hangs
at
in the
very
balance.
beginning of their ill
The younger
by
brothers feel they
stripes
have to work
and
more than
other
their
bodily
superior brothers,
punishments.
and that
Knowing
some
that it
brothers
is
are more
written,
concerned with their own
"Rule is
comfort
not
than with
corrected
worshipping
words."
God. The older
And
brothers
again,
take a different view.
beat your son
They say
with
the
the
younger
rod,
monks want
and you will
privileges
deliver
they
the
haven't
soul
earned,
from death.
and each side has its own
The
candidate.
rule of Saint Benedict. Reading
I thought
from the
politics
Abbot.
weren't part of the
Therefore,
monastic
when
way of
anyone
life.
receives the
You're
name
right,
of abbot,
but we know
not
nothing
to
besides
govern
the
his
monastery,
disciples with a
and the
twofold
abbot's
teaching.
decisions can influence our entire
That is
life.
to say, he
Some
shall
of the
show them
brothers
all
take
that
it
is
very
good
personally.
and holy, by his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's
Are there ever any
commandments in
disagreements
words
between the
to be
brothers?
intelligent among his
Unfortunately,
disciples.
yes. The biggest
But
quarrels right now are about the
demonstrating
election of the
divine
new
precepts by
abbot.
his actions for
They
those
can
who
already
harden
see poor
hearts
Peter in
and
his
rule
grave.
their minds. The abbot should always remember what he is.
Tell me
and
something
what
about
he is
electing
called,
the abbot.
and should know
The old
that
abbot is
whom
practically on
more
his
is
deathbed.
committed.
There are
From
two
him
candidates.
more is required.
Half the monastery
Let him
wants
make
John,
no distinction
the other
of
half
persons in the
Nevlas.
monastery. Let
But
him
there's
not
no
love
chance they'll
one
come to an
more than
agreement.
another, unless
But
it
you've
be
probably
one
already
who
noticed the
finds
atmosphere
better in
around
good
here.
works or in obedience. And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders.
Tell me something about
but,
life here.
Since he has the authority,
Prayer,
let him
work,
cut out
obedience.
those faults by the roots
That just about
as
sums it
soon
up.
as they begin to appear.
Can you tell me something about the
Remembering
rule
the
of
fate
St.
of
Benedict?
Heli, the
7
priest
centuries
of
ago,
Zion, the
Saint Benedict of
well-disposed and
Nursia
those of good
wrote a
understanding,
collection of
let him
monastic
correct
rules,
with verbal
which we
admonition
still
the
follow
first and
today.
second time.
They're read at every
But
meal.
bold,
The fundamental
hard,
precepts are
proud, and
obedience,
disobedient
work, and
characters
prayer.
he should curb
We're
at the
fully
very
devoted to
beginning
serving
of their
God.
ill-doing by stripes
The
and
outside
other
world, beyond the
bodily
monastery walls,
punishments.
is foreign to
Knowing
us.
that it is written,
Do you never want to know
"The
what's
fool is
going on
not
out there?
corrected with words."
And what should be going
And
on?
again, beat
The sky
your
is just
son
as
with the
blue,
rod,
and the
and
grass
will
is
deliver
just
his
as green.
soul from death.
Perhaps the rulers change,
The rule of Saint
but the greatest
Benedict.
ruler of them all will remain
Reading from the
unchanged
Abbot.
through the ages.
Therefore, when anyone receives the name of abbot,
I'm interested in the
ought to
monastery's
govern
history.
his disciples
It was
with a
founded by
twofold
Saint
teaching.
Procopius 500 years ago.
That is to say,
After
he
his
should show them
death,
all that is
heretics
good
occupied the
and
place for
holy,
some time.
by his deeds even
But then the
more
order
than
was
by his
restored,
words,
and the brothers of the true
expounding
faith
the Lord's
returned.
commandments in
Heretics, you
words
say?
to the intelligent among his
They wanted to
disciples,
worship God with some
but
foreign rituals,
demonstrating
in a
the
language
divine
foreign to
precepts
God.
by his actions for
They were
those that
driven
harden
away, and their
hearts
books
and rule their
burned.
minds. The abbot should always remember what he
What are the
is
roles
and
of
what
the
he is
various
called,
monks here?
and should know
Well,
that
the
to
abbot is the
whom
head,
more is
but he's
committed.
not here now.
From him,
Then there's the
more
prior,
is
and
required.
the sub-prior,
Let him make
the
no
librarian,
distinction of
the
persons
porter,
in the
and
monastery.
many others.
Let him
As a
not love
novice, you
one
should be
more than
particularly
another,
mindful of the
unless it
circators.
be one whom he
They're the
finds
ones who
better in
maintain
good
discipline
works
and punish
or in
bad
obedience.
behavior.
And let him
Yeah,
not
tell
shut
me
his
about it.
eyes to the faults of offenders.
What can
but
you tell me about the
since he has
novices here?
authority, let him cut
What can I
out
say?
those faults by
You're
the
here to
roots
demonstrate your
as
devotion
soon
to
as
God
they begin to
and to live a monastic life. After a year,
Remembering the fate of
you can
Heli,
make your vows and
priest
become a
of
fully
Poseidon.
fledged
The
brother.
well
I meant something
disposed
specific
those
about the
who
brothers that are
understand.
here.
Let him correct with
But you know them yourself.
first and second
Yodok
time.
is an odd one, but he's diligent and eager.
Hard,
Perhaps
proud,
too eager.
disobedient characters
Siskind is good
should
company,
curb at the very
but a bit too
beginning of
worldly
their
for a
youth
monk.
by stripes
Antonius
and
is hardworking and
other
will help with
bodily
anything, but
Knowing
prays
that
less
it
than
is
he ought.
written, "The
Lucas
fool
is
is
as
not
quiet as a
corrected
mouse,
with
and no one
words."
knows much about him.
And again,
And then we
beat
have
your
you,
son with the rod,
about
and
who
you
I know
deliver
nothing.
his soul from death. The The rule of Saint Benedict.
Can you leave the monastery?
Greetings on the abbot.
Where would you go?
Therefore, when anyone
You have
receives
everything
the
you
name
need
of
here.
abbot, he ought to
Anyway,
govern his disciples
all the doors
with
here are
full
closed and
obedience.
locked tight, so no one
That is
can
to
get
say,
in or out.
He should show them all that is good and holy. by
Who
his
would you like
deeds
to be the
even
new
more
abbot?
than by his words.
What kind of
Expounding
question
the
is
Lord's
that?
commandments
John,
with
of course.
words to the
Nevertheless
intelligent
isn't the
among
kind of
his
candidate you
disciples,
can take seriously.
but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called.
Okay, so that's
and should know
Circuit
that
of
to
John.
him more is committed.
Siskin.
Him
See if we can
more
get anything out of
is
Siskin while we're
required. Let him
here.
make no distinction of persons.
My name's Gregor, a novice.
Let him not love
You can
one
call me
more than
Siskin.
another, unless it
Now, are you here of your own free will, or is this a punishment?
or in obedience.
Although it's not important.
And let him not
Welcome
shut
to
his
purgatory.
eyes to the faults
Did
of
you say
others,
purgatory?
but since
You'll
he
see
has
soon
the
enough.
authority, let him cut out
Soon
those
enough.
faults by the roots,
Yeah,
as
been I've been here less than a day and I already got put in the dungeon.
remembering the fate of Heli, the
Um.
priest of Silence. The well disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal
Will you tell me something about yourself?
time.
Look, nothing against you, but I prefer not to talk about my past.
Obedient characters, he should curb at the very
Are you hiding something?
their ill-doing by
Why are you so reluctant to tell me anything about yourself?
I'm hiding a lousy past that I'd rather forget. I hate to think of all I lost when they stuck me in here.
beat your son with
And also because I really hate the question, aren't you the son of the famed Sir Smil Flashka of Pardubitz? I was rich and I had everything. But then my father began to feel his time approaching, so he decided to send a son to the monastery. And, being the youngest, the lot fell on me. I've no head for managing the estate, and they said I'd squander it. Can you imagine? Me, in a monastery. So I took what coin I could from home with me, so I didn't lose out completely.
will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without
What's your plan with this treasure?
To get out of here as soon as I can. I'll wait another year or two until my hot-headed brothers cool off a bit, and then I'll take the silver and run off somewhere, far, far away from here.
not necessarily with his
But you didn't have to come here if you didn't want to.
No, not if I didn't mind being left to beg alms by the city gate. I had one choice, the monastery or nothing.
heart is murmuring, and far
If it had come to that after my father's death, so be it.
incur the
But to get rid of me while he's still alive,
penalty amend and make satisfactory.
They must have realised you robbed them.
The rule of Saint Benedict
I donated some of the silver to the monastery when I came in, just to piss them off. I can just see my brothers, my siblings, arguing with the abbot to give it back.
And you stashed away the remainder.
Indeed so.
fear of hell and the glory of life everlasting.
He's not really monk material. I think the other one was. I think Pius was actually a monk before all this. That's how he was able to get in. Now this one, he's hiding from his family, as opposed to those cutthroats out there that are after him.
That's all I wanted to know.
Please keep it to yourself, especially the part about the coin.
Given to superiors is given to God. For if the disciple obeys with an ill will and murmurs, not necessarily with his lips, but simply in his heart,
I'd be interested to hear what you think about the other novices.
yet his
Yeah, we've only seen Antonius.
Tell me about Antonius.
who sees that his heart
Well, if there was a monk I'd recommend as a friend, with of course the exception of myself, it would be Antonius.
punishment
He has a calm soul, he's easy to talk to, and you can always rely on him.
the rule of Saint Benedict.
Character of a priest as well.
Therefore,
That's
when
all.
anyone
Thanks.
receives the name of abbot, he ought to govern his disciples with a twofold teaching.
It occurred to me you might be the man to ask.
He should show
I'm looking
all
for
that
some
is good
lockpicks.
and holy by
Do you know anyone in the monastery who could help me?
his word.
Lockpicks, eh?
Founding the Lord's
I won't ask what for.
words to the intelligent
My advice is to try Brother Solarius.
demonstrating the divine
Hilarious,
by
eh?
actions for those of harder hearts and
Not really any
minds.
concern, but may as well ask.
Who would you elect, Abbot, if you could?
And what he is
Most likely Nevlas.
know that to
He's a fine fellow and he seems honest.
from him
But,
more.
truth be told, it doesn't matter much to me. The monastery will still be a monastery, no matter who's in charge.
Not love one
If you really want to talk more about it, ask Antonius. He seems to have taken an interest.
in obedience, and let him not shut his eyes.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
But since he has the authority, let him cut out those
Who's in charge of things around here?
as soon as
Truthfully,
to appear.
everyone except us. But officially, Abbot Peter, and soon enough, someone else. As if it mattered. Our life will still be work and prayer.
Hmm.
But bold,
I see.
proud, and disobedient characters.
Well, that's all. Thank you for your time, brother.
By stripes and other bodily punishments. Knowing that it is written, the fool is not corrected with words. And again, beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver his
I wonder if I
soul
could try and have a quick chat with any of the other novices.
On daily manual labor. Idleness is
Technically,
the
I should be
enemy of
paying
the
attention to
soul.
that lot, but
Therefore, the brethren
Antonius, there's Yorick.
Greetings, brother. I'm Gregor, and I'm new here.
Greetings to you, brother. I'm Yodok, the oldest of the novices. I hope you'll like it here in the monastery and that you won't get into trouble.
Trouble?
You're young, perhaps intemperate. You might easily stray from the rules of the order. I suggest you get to know the older monks. You never know when it might come in handy.
Yeah, I don't want to reveal my hand yet.
Can you tell me something about yourself?
I would if there was anything noteworthy to say. But I'm just the ordinary son of a landowner, now a monk. There's nothing in my past, present, or future that anyone could find interesting.
Why did you join the monastery?
Because it was better than living in poverty. As the youngest son, I'm not entitled to inherit my father's estate, but he was kind enough to sell off some cattle and send me here. And you know what? I'm glad to be here. It's better than mucking out manure.
Hmm.
I'm interested in the other novices. Do you know anything about Antonius?
Only that he came to the monastery voluntarily, because he didn't want to work in his father's shop. Antonius is all right. You can rely on him. He won't betray your confidence. He's always happy to help, which is more than can be said for the other brothers.
What can you tell me about Siskin?
Oh, he's always got a smile on the new friend. But I reckon he don't belong in the monastery. He spends more time dreaming of the world outside than tending to his duties. I'm surprised he hasn't been thrown out already. If it was up to me, he'd be out on his ear right away.
Sounds like you don't have much time for him.
I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. Believe me, Gregor, he's hiding something from us. In fact, now I come to think of it, I haven't seen him at morning prayers for a while.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. Well, that's all. Thank you for your time, brother.
He should curb at the very beginning of their ill-doing by stripes and other bodily punishments.
What do you desire, Brother Gregor?
The fool is not corrected with words.
I'd be interested to hear what you think about the other novices.
Your son with the rod, and you will
I'm interested in Yodok.
from death.
What could interest you about him?
Saint Benedict.
He's a no-good rat. He'll turn you in for the price of a turnip. I'd bet my life that if he wasn't here, he'd be a cumin scout, bowing and scraping for a few groschen.
That doesn't sound too flattering.
It wasn't meant to. No matter what you do here, watch out for him. He's got his eye on everyone, and he'll rat on you for even the slightest of infractions.
That's
okay.
all. Thanks.
Interesting. Yeah, kind of difficult to like pinpoint anybody yet.
I'm Gregor, a novice. I saw you at the ceremony.
I know. It was hard not to notice you.
And you are?
Lucas, also a novice. Don't get upset, but I don't want to talk to you. I'm happiest alone.
That's straight up suspicious.
Will you tell me something about yourself?
There's nothing I can tell you.
I mean, where you're from, what sort of life you had before, that sort of thing.
I'm a novice, and my monastic name is Lucas. Nothing else matters.
Come on. Is there really nothing at all you can tell me?
I could, but I don't want to. I'm sorry. I want to stay focused on work and prayer, not on who I once was. I never will be again. What has been isn't important for us. We cast the past aside when we walked through the monastery gates and took our oath. Never forget that.
I'd like to know something about the other novices.
I don't know much, but ask away.
What can you tell me about Siskin?
Not a lot. I don't know him. Actually, I don't know much about him at all, except that he's not a stickler for rules.
You really don't know anything about anyone? Well, thanks anyway.
Don't get upset. I'm sorry I can't tell you more. I just haven't felt like getting to know anyone yet.
I'd like to know something about the other novices.
I don't know much, but ask away.
Do you know anything about Yodok?
I don't. He doesn't like me, and he's on very friendly terms with the Circators. That's about it.
That's what they were saying. No, that's what the other one was saying. More or less.
Tell me about Antonius.
I'd like to, but there's nothing to tell. I've never spoken to him. I've never asked about him.
Are you joking? Don't you know anyone at all here?
Why should I?
Well, I thought you might want to know who you'll be spending the rest of your life with. I definitely do. In fact, I probably already know more about them than you do.
Don't get upset. I'm sorry I can't tell you more. I just haven't felt like getting to know anyone yet.
Not really going to get much out of him. I mean, definitely sounds suspicious though.
And even though he fulfills the command, yet
What troubles
his
you?
work will not be acceptable to God, who sees that
I'd
as
be
long
interested
as
to
his
hear what
work
you think about the other
and far
novices.
from gaining a reward for such work as
What can you
this,
tell me about
will
Siskin?
incur the punishment
That
of
there's no man alive less suitable for the monastic life than him.
You don't know young Lord Capon.
the rule of Saint
I've heard things. Siskin must have been like him, fighting, drinking, fornicating. But then he ended up in here.
Why is he in the monastery?
No one knows. Maybe he's hiding from something. Or maybe he's being punished.
Do you think he has a secret?
Don't we all? But unlike the others, he absolutely refuses to speak about his life before the monastery.
Could have been telling me the truth and that he just basically ran away from the family.
That's all I wanted to know about him. Thanks. What about Yodok?
Be on good terms with him. If you show even the slightest hint you don't like him, he'll make your life hell. He's a slimy little pedant who'll rat you out to the superiors. Once he finishes his novitiate, I imagine he'll want to climb his way up the ladder to at least Circator. He's a man who enjoys ordering others around.
I'm interested in Lucas.
No one knows much about him. He doesn't talk to anyone. He works, eats, sleeps, then does it all again the next day. It's as if he wanted to get it all over with as soon as possible. By it, I mean his entire life.
That's all. Thanks.
This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer to them than Christ. Because of the holy
Really no
service
further
they profess,
forward by the
and
looks of it.
fear of hell and the glory of life everlasting. As soon
Well,
as
I
anything
think
has
we'll
been
get our
ordered by the Spirit,
breakfast finished and then we'll have to get on with our work.
and cannot suffer
Ooh, I think that was a close call. Right, so we need to come and work here apparently. Not a monk. Yeah. Oh, this is Brother Nevis, is it?
I'm Gregor, a novice.
I know. I saw you at the ceremony. My name is Nebulus, and I'm the provost here. I'm in charge of the monastery's property, as well as handling trade with the outside world.
That means you get to leave the monastery.
No, not at all. I just write lists and send them out.
I suppose we've got a lot of questions to ask, but I want to get on with the work first.
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the alchemist's laboratory. You'll find ingredients in the chests next to it. Today's task, 2 cockerel potions. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let me know when you're done so I can check them.
Okay, so that should be pretty easy to do. So 8 o'clock we'll work there. So we're supposed to be working here till about 4 hours. Then we'll go to the library. So the question is whether we can sneak out have to have done this work, but let's see what he asks once we get these potions done. Okay, so there's a load of ingredients there. Monk. Right, so what are the cocktail potion doing? We've done that one before. I don't think we've actually done that before. Ah, there we go. Right, so we need 1 valerian and 2 mint. Now he said he needed 2, I think. Right, so let's get on with that then. Maybe they're not in alphabetical order, that would have been a lot easier. Right, so spirits, grind the mint. It's 2 mint, so we need to grind that. Then we boil it for 1 turn. Add the valerian and boil for 2 more turns. Oh, we've got to distill this one. So I'm going to boil this one for a turn. Kitty duck. Then we want the valerian. Then we want our valerian. Boil that for 2 turns. Oh! Blast off. I've messed it up. I've messed it up already. Oh no. I don't think that's gonna work. I think that's gonna go horribly wrong. Why on earth did I do that? Why on earth did I do that? Right, we need to distill it then. Ah, oh, dear lord. May as well have just started from scratch anyway. Oh wow, it actually worked. I cannot believe it, it actually worked, even though I messed it up. Right, okay, let's go and tell him.
Ah, Gregor, talk to me.
I've finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Spectacular, Gregor. You've found your talent. Soon enough, you'll be teaching the other novices.
Right, so 64. If I step outside here, we're going to get into trouble. I want to sneak up there and see if my lockpick's still intact. Oh, I can hear somebody. Sounded like somebody was out there. Aha, my lockpick's still here. Right, let's see if why somebody's boot down there. Let's even have a quick peek around these places here and see what we can find. It's better to check these during the day. Oh no, a page torn from a book. Oh, fair enough. Oh, I have to be careful because I've only got the one. Any more chests around here? Yeah. Dried cheese. There's actually. Just thinking if there's things you can borrow, shall we say. It'll be a case of there'll be things that I can sell to others. Page from a torn book. Yeah. Where does that one go? Well, nothing useful so far. I'm leaving the hard one till last. Unless you don't know who these belong to.
What do we have here? A nice sharp dagger. Now what would a monk need that for?
Pious. They said Pious had a dagger. Yeah. Right, well, tell you what, we'll put this thing back. I'm going to put this back in my little box. Oh, hello. Didn't want to put everything back, so I'll have those back. No harm having those, because I need those for the all the stuff we got to make anyway. So I think we're okay to carry everything, but though, hang on it. I bring everything back, right? Yes. Oh, I want that back. Right. What have I got on me? Right. Potion. Right. So I think we need to sneak back to where we need to be. Oh, what time is it? 10 o'clock. Right, I'm gonna see if I can sneak back without breaking my neck. In a cicada. Oh, that's a cicada. The other ones, I think they've got those cowls. Sneak through here. Right. I'll look around here while we're at it.
Peace be with you, brother.
Yep, and you too. Oh. What are these for? Human of use to somebody. Any books we can read? Oh. Did I steal that? No. Oh, man, I don't want books. Unless I haven't read them. Get quite a bit of reading done here, I suppose, while we're at it. I don't think there's anything else to do here, that's the trouble. Gonna be something I'll have to do at night. Right, I think it might be worthwhile just hanging around here until we need to go to the next place then.